Lovers of lore, thank you for joining me for the first installment of the March of the Machine Magic the Gathering storyline. This story picks up where the last one left off. We're starting out with Kea, Kaito, and Tyvar trapped with Elish Norn, and she is now at the height of her victory so far, with the Phyrexian invasion moving out through Realmbreaker into a whole number of different planes. So Norn is completely unconcerned about these three pitiful planeswalkers, and she's going on about the glory of New Phyrexia as these three planeswalkers are trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Tyvar is getting angry at her mocking and actually tries to rush her, but ends up getting pulled back. And Norn, wanting to boast more, uses Nissa to open up 5 separate portals showing red skies over different planes that were being attacked. And Realmbreaker's roots were just crashing down into the plane, plowing deep into the surface of multiple worlds, vomiting rivers of Phyrexian oil and invading forces full of Phyrexian horrors. And at this point, Luca, Nahiri, and Ajani all arrive in the room as well, alongside Atraxa. And with them, they actually have Sheoldred. She's tied up and looks so small and insignificant now that she's not in her gigantic carapace armor. So Ajani looks over at the planeswalkers, Kea, Kaito, and Tyvar, and asks Norn, should he deal with them? But Norn is delighting in their fear and also disregarding their pitiful struggles. So she says, if they wish to leave, we'll let them after they witness the glory of Phyrexia. She then turned to deal with the traitor Sheoldred. Sheoldred called her a narcissistic tyrant that was following her own wishes. But Norn countered back that her wishes are Phyrexia's wishes, and then dismissively commands Ajani to execute her. Sheoldred screams, the blade descends, her head is severed from her body, and her life ends. Norn rejoices and has them take the body away, and her Phyrexian followers start to sing a song of glorious perfection. And the newly completed planeswalkers try to join the chorus as well, but they're off key, and the noise is really grating to Elish Norn. So she commands them to stop screaming at them. Then she starts to ask the different planeswalkers about their homelands, starting with Nahiri. As Nahiri says the name Zendikar, Nissa uses her powers through Realmbreaker to create viewing portals. So what they were able to see was the vast forests of Zendikar appearing. They were filled with elves, staring upwards for some reason expectantly. Nahiri barked at Nissa, show her a skyclave. When the skyclave appeared, Nahiri went on to explain, this is an ancient weapon my people used to dominate Zendikar. This pleased Norn greatly. She blessed Nahiri's plans to reawaken the skyclave, and Nahiri departed to Zendikar. After Nahiri had departed, Norn looked over to where the 3 uncompleted planeswalkers had been standing. They were gone. Norn smiled to herself and turned back to her plans. Next up was Ikoria. Luca was dispatched after being interrogated as to his intentions. The plan was for him to head to Ikoria, basically bring all of the monsters of Ikoria under his control and use them to aid Phyrexia. Now, Norn didn't absolutely trust Luca. He seemed like a devoted dog, but at the same time, he was very headstrong and likely to go off on his own tasks. So he was sent off to Ikoria, with Norn considering either the possibility of Luca succeeding to be a win, or if he failed, Luca would end up taking himself out of the picture, so either way, the situation would be resolved. Before she allowed Luca to leave, she reminded him the price of failure. She was genuinely impressed at the progress he had made compared to these other weaker planeswalkers, but still, he was just a flesh being, so she wanted to make sure he knew what was at stake. After that, it was Tamio's turn. Kamigawa loomed large in the portal that Nissa pulled up, and Tamio watched as her homeland was getting attacked, and her hand actually clenched on the scroll that she was holding at the time. Norn was extolling the virtues of Phyrexia and talking about her plan for Tamio to take over the plane when she noticed that Tamio actually wasn't paying attention. This ended up enraging Atraxa, who leapt in front of the portal to break Tamio's vision. Tamio realized what was going on and apologized. Norn was irked and made it clear that she would not accept this happening ever again. Tamio departed to bring Kamigawa under Phyrexia's dominion. After that was Ajani. Now he was expecting to be sent to his homeland, but Norn had something different in mind. Tell me of Theros. Again, Nissa shifted the portal to a view of Theros. They watched the invasion of the plane. It was going quite well, but Ajani sensed that there was a deeper purpose here, and that actually concerned Norn. When one of her followers was too clever, that showed too much individuality. And individuality does not serve Phyrexia. Nissa's portal shifted to focus in on the prize Norn wanted to show Ajani. A goddess, half formed of the night sky, loomed high. Ajani nodded. You wish to dominate their gods. A fine plan. Norn was shocked. These beings are gods? It doesn't take much to be considered a god here. The plan was to defeat or complete the gods of Theros. Ajani smiled. Belief is what makes these gods. If we get the people on our side, the gods have to follow. So Ajani departed to bring the world of Theros under Phyrexia's sway. But this wasn't actually Norn's actual goal. The completion of the gods was just a bonus for Norn. She actually had a deeper goal that she was keeping secret from Ajani. Her next task was for Atraxa, and that's because this was incredibly important. Atraxa was to be sent to New Capena. Phyrexians had been there in the past. Something of great use to Phyrexia exists on the plane, and research was being done to find it. But angels were able to locate the Phyrexians and seal them away, and a giant city was built atop them. So Atraxa is to wipe out the entirety of New Capena. Its existence is an affront to Phyrexia, and Norn has decided that unlike all of the other planes, no one on this plane will be offered completion. Everyone is to be destroyed. And if Atraxa finds the original Phyrexians that failed and got sealed away, even they are to be destroyed, pulled apart, and used for individual pieces to serve Phyrexia in another way for their failure. Atraxa is being sent because since she was originally an angel, she may have immunity to Halo, which is anathema to the Phyrexians. And Capena is a genuine threat to Phyrexia. After Atraxa departs, Norn then has her attendants come in, and they start to preach the teachings of Elish Norn back to her. She settles into the sound of their droning voices, and she's finally able to forget her nightmares of being hunted by Elspeth. All right, my friends, that ends the first installment of the March of the Machine storyline. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you like what we're doing here, you can support the channel by joining the channel membership or by joining the Patreon. Big thank you to the channel's patrons and channel members for supporting what we do here. I will see you all for the next video. In the meantime, go enjoy some more lore, because remember, lore is life.